Go ahead. The rival in South Carolina, where do they kind of rank in your view of rivals for Georgia?
In my mind, I feel like we have the most rivals at every SEC school. I mean, I feel like in my mind, I feel like every team we play in the SEC is pretty much a rival because there's either some guy you know on that team, there's either some coach you got recruited by, or I mean, it's just in some way or another, every SEC team we play is a rival in my mind.
How is it different for you when you're lined up and they've got a quarterback back there, or they've got Pharaoh Cooper at quarterback? I mean, how does that change when you're at the line right before the snap?
Having Pharaoh Cooper back there is definitely changes the way everybody has to rush. I mean, it changes the whole game plan pretty much. I mean, the guy's a great athlete. I mean, I heard he played quarterback in high school. I mean, he does it all, and you really have to focus on your keys and really just see what you're supposed to see, and not worry about somebody else's job, and just really focus in for the snap.
It's not just Pharaoh Cooper. They still do a lot of zone read stuff. Does that take your strength? Georgia's strength is really getting after the quarterback. Does that take some of that away when you have to play these guys?
Yeah, it definitely does, but I mean, we just have to find another way to be a factor in the game, whether it be pass rushing, whether it be just finding a way to be dominant, taking some blockers out for somebody else to make a play.
With all the athletes you guys have on offense, do you guys use someone special to simulate Pharaoh Cooper back there?
Actually, now that you said it, I am pretty intrigued on who they'll put back there for him. Yeah, I'm not really sure who they'll have submitted yet, but I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Do you think he compares well to like Isaiah or Sony, or kind of similar skill sets?
Yeah, I definitely would agree about the Sony thing. Isaiah's his own. That kid is he's something else. But I definitely see the comparison with him and Sony.
Jordan, you expecting them to be pretty fired up, especially with the way last week's game went for them?
Yeah, I always hate playing a team that just lost, because I feel like they're that much more eager to make us lose and feel that same thing they felt last week. And then after the way we played South Carolina last year, I feel like they're going to be really amped up even more to prove that it wasn't just a close game, it wasn't just a single call or basketball or anything like that, that they won it and that they deserved it. And I feel like they're going to come in with that mentality.
Having played against South Carolina 3 times now, what do you think makes Steve Spurrier who he is, and what does he bring to that South Carolina offense?
I mean, Spurrier's just he's a great coach. He knows the game, and I mean, he can run everything from the field. I mean, it's like he's living out his glory days again as a quarterback, making all the checks, looking at the defense and stuff. I mean, he's just that good of a coach where he can just see a defense from the sideline and make the changes and just do a lot of coaching on the fly.
Jordan, last week we talked about what you remembered from the loss to Vanderbilt a couple of years ago. What do you remember about last year's trip to South Carolina? It was could have gone either way, just didn't go y'all's way at the end. But what kind of still sits with you after that?
I mean, me personally, I didn't play to the best of my capabilities, and last year we played them. I feel like I was definitely a part of that loss, and some of that weight had to rely on me. And I also just remember a sour taste in my mouth after leaving that field at the last couple seconds, and that was another heartfelt loss from last season.
South Carolina every year, just huge tackles. I mean, and Corey Robinson's gone, but Mason Zandy's back in. He's 6'9". I mean, what kind of challenge is that for you guys when those guys are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", and you're trying to deal with them that big?
I mean, it definitely really focuses on. I mean, it really makes us have to use our leverage. I mean, those guys outweigh us by about maybe 60, 80 pounds, with almost 100 with some of the other outside linebackers we have. But I mean, we really have to just stay low, and I mean, our length is pretty much nullified now, but you just got to find a way to get it done.
Did they recruit you?
Yeah, South Carolina did recruit me. Coach Ward was one of the varsity coaches I talked to. Getting credit, I can't remember, freshman, sophomore year, high school, something like that. I talked with Coach Ward a little bit, but they're always in the running, but they weren't one of my top 3 or 4 schools.